Hello, everyone. My name is Bobby, and I'm hosting this stream tonight. But I have a special guest with me for the first time author, Donnie Hardison. I think it's how it's pronounced, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay, I wanted to
Diamond
make
T.
sure.
Hardison is second.
Wanted to make sure I had that right. I should have asked you beforehand.
No, you got it.
First-time author, and you published a memoir, a couple of memoirs.
Yes.
Sorry, Facebook popped up. Um, so how does it feel to have published those, and then all of a sudden you go from a few people knowing who you are to practically the entire world?
Yeah, that's definitely something. I mean, like, I'm kind of a low key person. I live a quiet, humble life. And I don't like to be in the spotlight. So when you go from like zero to like hero, I mean, it's kind of mind blowing. But I mean, it's been a blessing to write them. I mean, I would have never thought that like at the age of 49 that I would be like a multi award winning author who's written like two memoirs that have really got out into the world all across the world and has touched the lives of many. I mean, and that's the blessing right there. I mean, like my story, my voice. I mean, I wrote my books where they have very raw emotion, to them. I mean, very vividly told. I held nothing back. I mean, and in the tears, I'm typing away like this story is going to profoundly affect a multitude of people, and it's a little nerving at times because like when you before you go hit that publish button, you're like, how is this going to be received? How is this going to be taken? Because I mean, I tell very intimate details about my life. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So I mean, at the same time too, I mean, I'm watching your story, Bobby. I mean, like you, I've watched it quietly in the background. You're a very inspiring person. I mean, like
Well,
I'm like
thank you.
I
You
want
are
to get to
too.
know more about. I mean, in the fact that I mean, like you're an aspiring author and you do whatever you can to put a smile on people's faces. I mean, and I watched you struggle. I mean, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. I mean, physically, you were in a hospital. I mean, just not too long ago. I mean, fighting for your life, and there's God right there, sparing your life. And Bobby, yet to speak another day. I mean, it's very inspirational, Bobby.
Yeah. And I have to say, you were part of the reason I decided to do my memoir.
What like what was it about what I did that made you decide to write the memoir?
Well, honestly, I thought, well, you weren't the only one, but you were one of the people. One of the ones was Chrissy Metz from This Is Us, which, by the way, awesome show. But anyway,
Okay.
she's one of the main ones. But then I heard of your story, and I read the back of the books of your stories that you've written, and I thought,
Right.
holy smokes! So
I mean, you just
that leads me to a
go ahead.
question of where did you get your inspiration to write your story from?
So, all right. So, first of all, let's just show off the book real quick. So, this is the 11-time award-winning book, One Man's Journey: The Untold Story of the Quest for Truth. And my second one is A Break in the Silence, Reconciled or Forgotten. Both of them are multi-award winning. So the inspiration, I mean, like ever since I was a little child, God had already had a call on my life. I mean, some are called, some are chosen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And like, but it's not what people think, though. I mean, it's like people are told if you come to God, the walkway with Him is going to be a bed of roses. He's going to take you places you've never. I'm here to tell you that He will take you places you've never dreamed of, and that's the gutter. That's the ghettos. He's going to take you into places where people need hope. People need faith. People need to be encouraged, you know. I mean, and to be that person to have gotten out in this world and became that man that it's not about, you know, religion. It's about a relationship and that I'm here for you. I care. I've been where you're at before, you know what I'm saying? And by the grace of God and the mercy of God, I have made it through. You know what I'm saying? So the inspiration to write was like looking around this world and seeing that we are surrounded by broken people who need help, who need encouragement, who just need a shoulder to cry on, you know. And thanks be to God, I've been that person, and I will continue to be that person. So I figured, hey, why not write my story? I mean, it's sad, it's very heartbreaking,
Yeah.
but to know that I've overcome, you know, because of Christ, you know, it says that we are set free by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our
Right.
testimony. You know what I'm saying? Like He's brought me where I'm at today. I mean, I'm at peace. I'm a very happy person. You know, I love to spread encouragement and cheer. I mean, and it's just a blessing to be that person. So, I mean, that's where the inspiration came from. But I would have never thought that my story and my voice would have had an impact all around the world. I mean, you know, my books are all around the world. And it's like wild that people are getting hold of me saying, Donnie, you know, your book has done this for me and that for me. And it's like, you know, thanks. You know, I mean, it's pretty humbling.
Now, when you submitted your stories to whoever you submitted them to, did you have any rejection to them, or was it like automatic acceptance?
So I have a personal preference. I don't ever want to be published by a traditional publisher nor a hybrid publisher. So I just went ahead and self-published, and
Okay.
I do all the marketing, all the promoting. I send out my books for editorial reviews, and just see how they go with people. You know, I mean, there's a lot to writing a book first and foremost. Then there's a lot to marketing the book, and then the promoting the book. I mean, so it's not just, hey, I write a book and then I'm done. I throw it on Amazon or Ingram Sparks or wherever, and it's going to do its thing. That's not how it works. It'll fall to the bottom of the pile because there's millions and millions of books being published every single day. You know, so I mean, you have to work the grind. You have to hit, you know, the sidewalk up and running as hard as you could to get your book out there. I mean, doing the podcast, doing these, you know, these live videos, you know, I mean, and just getting out there and sharing yourself with the people, building that trust, building that platform with them, and saying, hey, this is who I am. You know, I mean, I'm not Mr. Anonymous. I'm not, you know, behind the scenes like, hey, I'm right here. I want to share my story with you. I want to let you know that if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. If you need someone to pray with, I'm here. You know, I mean, and if you really want to know who I am, you can read my books and you will see, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm saying? And you will see the overcoming faith that it took to make it out of my situation to where I'm at today. You know,
Right.
so that's where I'm at. I mean, it's kind of like you when you want to write you're in the process of writing your memoir. You have a story. You have an amazing story, right? And to you, you may think like, hey, nobody's going to care about this story. You know, that there's all these different things going on. I mean, everybody's used, you know, like people like me and this and that, but it's not because I mean, you have a story that people need to hear. You know what I'm saying? I mean, honestly, I mean, like it's pretty wild. I mean, like here you are. I mean, in just what a week ago, was it a week or two? Like you were on your deathbed, you
Right.
know?
And you know, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I was just sitting here while you were talking, thinking. I actually think that this moment came to fruition when when I asked you originally, "Hey, do you want to go on live with me?" I thought he's not going to want to do this. He's going to have too much time on his hands with
Yeah,
work.
well, I'm a very busy. I'm very busy, but I know the minute you asked me, I mean, I was honored by that. I'm like, oh, Bobby Preston, for sure. I definitely want to get on. I want to talk to him. I want to get to know him a little bit more. I want to know about his story. So this is a great opportunity. So I mean, thank you for having me on on your podcast or your live
Yeah.
show.
And my story, which you'll get to read it and you'll get a free copy. I will send you a free copy, a free signed copy.
And I said you a great review.
Um, Okay, I will message you my address after we get done here. Okay.
I will.
But when I read the blurbs of your story, I thought, wow, we actually have been through some of the same similar crap.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm not going to say you had it worse than I did, and I'm not going to say,
Right.
I had it worse than you did, because no one person has it, any worse than the other,
Right. I mean,
or any better than the other.
right,
We
and
all
that's
have it the same.
right. I mean, and each person can judge their own situation by that measure. I mean, I would never say that, hey, my life has been worse than yours, or your life has been worse than mine. I mean, because you're not that person in that situation going through that at that time. I mean, like you don't know what that person has really battled. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're willing to put it
Right.
out in a book. I mean, because I mean, your demons may not be my demons. Out there chasing me. I mean, it could be a completely different situation. But every story has a meaning. Every story has purpose. I mean, to me, I tell everybody your story matters. I mean, and if you want to write a book that matters, write it from your heart. I mean, write it straight from your heart. And I don't care how hard it is or how much it hurts to write this thing. Just knowing right here that it's going to affect at least one person in this world makes it all worth it.
Right. And so, when I first heard of you, I thought, I wonder who this guy is. I don't, I'm gonna check out and see who this guy is. And then I found you in that group, and I thought, okay, this is the second time I've seen this dude. There must be something to me finding him twice now.
Right, right. I agree.
And so, I hit you up and we started talking, and now here we are.
Here we are. And that's the thing. I don't think people really realize how much we all have in common. It doesn't matter if you come from India, it doesn't matter if you come from South Africa, it doesn't matter what part of the world you come from. We all have a whole lot in common. We
Right.
all have suffered through hurt and pain and heartbreak and loss and grief and all these things. A lot of people just don't want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people feel like nobody really cares. Nobody wants to hear this. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer at the party. But I mean, once you do start talking about these things, I mean, it helps. It's just it's like a healing to your soul. Knowing that someone else can sit there and sympathize with you, saying, "Hey, I know where you're at. I know where you've been. I've been there myself." And I talk about my addiction to cocaine in my book. I talk about how there was nobody there for me to listen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I talk about all the hurtful things that I processed through, and the only person that I had to go through that was there with me was God. I could talk to him
Right.
about anything. And there was one time, and I wrote about this, that I was so mad at God that I told God I would never serve Him again. I'm saying? You call yourself a loving God. You say you care about me, and all these bad things have happened to me, and you allowed it to happen to me. Where are you, God? Where are you? And why? And here I am sitting here by myself. By myself. I didn't ask for this life. I didn't sign up for this life. You gave it to me. And there's nothing I can do to control the outcome except for, either one, I'm going to serve you or I'm not going to serve you. You know what I'm saying? And with that whole saying right there, who knows what would happen? You know what I'm saying? But to actually, finally submit to His will of my life and His call on my life has changed me into the person I am today. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't be more happier. You know, I think it's the same story with you because you just got baptized not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I had wrestled many times with everything that you just said. Literally everything that you just said. I wrestled with that, and I've wrestled with that for 25 years.
right,
So since I was six and a half,
right,
and I'm 31 now.
right.
So 25 years, I've wrestled with it, with all that stuff, and it's like if you God, if you love me, if you really care, if you really are who you say that you are, why am I going through all this crap that I'm going through?
Right.
And um, there's one there's one part in the book, or that's going to be in the book, where I talk about the last time that we were taken away from our birth mother. And I say we because I'm the youngest of five. Um, and so I remember going to school one day, starving, literally, and I was skin and bone. I mean, if I lifted up my shirt, you could count my ribs, literally.
Right.
I mean, it was that bad of a situation. And um, I can remember going to school, starving, and getting my aide to get me food like 7, 8 times because I was so hungry. We hadn't eaten all weekend except for Friday. We had split a candy bar between the five the five of us kids and the three adults in the house, and that's all we'd had all weekend. And I went to school that Monday and reported that. 2 days later, by Wednesday, we were out of the home, and um, when I hit puberty age and all that whole nonsense, I I can remember asking those God those questions like, where are you or were you? Why did I have to go through this? Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I can remember literally hearing, and there were people in the room, but there was no one in the room that was speaking audibly because it was the altar call,
Right. Right.
except for the pastor. But I knew it wasn't the pastor.
Right.
But I heard, "I've got your back," and I opened my eyes, and I swear to you, Donnie, I looked around, and everyone around me was on their knees praying about whatever they were praying about. They were in their own little moment of their time with God. And I mean, I never thought that I would be one to have to go through all the crap that I've been through.
Right. I mean, I think the minute life begins for each one of us is when we realize that life is not about us, right? So God has made you who you are, and He
Right.
made who I am to reach a certain amount of people, right? Right. Like so, like I don't know. A lot of people know about your physical, struggles. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I mean, but there you are as a witness saying, no matter what, in this wheelchair, I'm going to serve God. I'm going to love God. I'm going to be baptized in front of people. I mean, I want you to
and
know
there's
that
pictures on Facebook.
there is, and it's like, this wheel. I'm not bound to this wheelchair. My life is bigger than this chair. You know what I'm saying? That God has called me to move mountains on this wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like you are a megaphone of hope. I mean, I just want you to know that. I mean, at least to me, and I know other people who are paying attention to your profile. So I mean, you're doing a great thing. I love it. I think you're amazing.
Yeah. And how ironic is it that I'm interviewing you and I have this shirt on that I was baptized in?
It's pretty amazing, ain't it?
How
Signs,
ironic is that?
yeah, little signs like that. I mean, they mean something.
Yeah, that's a little awkward. Not awkward, but good. But anyway, I know you're on a time crunch, so I think I'm going to end it here with you. And for any of you, for any of you that want to stay, I'm going to do 2 hours of writing sprints. starting when Donnie and I get done here. Um, and we'll get this July challenge that I've joined going, and it's to write a book in 31 days.
That's impressive. I mean, good luck with your writing sprints. I mean, 31 days is impressive. I wrote my first memoir in 45 days, had it published in 47 days, so it is possible. But I mean, you're gonna have to be getting it. You know,
Had it
so
published when?
I had it. I wrote it in
Had it published.
45 days, published in 47 days. That was last year, February 21st of last year, and then I just published my new one in May, which took me about 6 months because that was a really tough write, and I had to take a break and walk away from it, go back to it to make sure my wording was actually,
Right. And that's what I was going to say about mine. There's going to be a tough part in mine where I had this one memory that's a really hard memory, as I'm sure was in your books.
yeah,
There's tough memories that are in your books that you've had to walk away from and be like, okay, I need some time away, and then I'll come back to it, and then I'll
yeah.
need time away again, come back to it, need time. You had to keep doing that over and over again because you were writing some really tough crap.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important too that you do walk away from that because I mean, I mean, there's a lot of hurt. I mean, there's a healing process going on as you write your book and as you continue
Yes,
to write this out. So,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
you need to take time away from that to allow the healing to fully take effect. You know what I mean? And then go back into it with a fresh set of eyes. I mean, literally, I mean, like with One Man's Journey, I'd lived it out for 47 years. I had that thing written in my heart. I mean, I just went to town. I went nuts on it. Like, boom, I wrote it. Bam, there it is. But a break in silence, and it talks about, a father being reconciled to his children. I mean, is he reconciled or is he forgotten? I mean, in the story behind that, I mean, that's a heartbreaking story, and it's broken my heart for years. So as I was writing it, I literally had to take time away. I had to recoup. I had to regain, and go back into it again. Look at it with a fresh set of eyes. I continued to write, and then I finally had it done. And I'm like, you know what? I need to sit on this for a couple of weeks. And I got back into it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put this thing out there. This is the best way that I feel that I portrayed this thing, right? And I've had, my wife is an editor as well, and she was just like, well, maybe you should sit on it for a couple more months, and maybe we can, get back in there and maybe tighten it up a little bit. And I was like, no, this is it. This is the story right here, and I rolled the dice on it, and it's exactly what I wanted it to be, but I mean, it's important to take that time away from these type of stories, to get your mind right back in the writing space. You know what I'm saying? It's where you're not like, right,
Mhm,
because you don't want to write something that's going to hurt other people, and that's really easy to do
mhm,
because it hurt, right? And you're like, ooh, I could go this route with it, boom, 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 and the next thing you know, I mean, yeah, you wrote a memoir, but you showed people that, hey, you have a lot of hurt, anger, and malice in you, right? So, and you aimed it right at them into the entire world. Plus, you got to worry about getting sued and all that stuff. You know that. But I mean, so the best way is like actually to write it, saying, hey, I've learned what forgiveness is all about, and forgiveness has changed my life. You know what I'm saying? And I have forgiven all these people in my life. So this is more of a blessing story than it is it's not vindictive, it's not malice or anything like that. It's all about here's my story, this is where I'm at, this is the things that I found in this entire situation, and even though I can't change these people, I still love them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's what it means to the world.
Yeah, well, I thank you for your time, and I'm going to let you go, and I'll talk to you later on Facebook.
All right, well, thanks for having me, Bobby. Best wishes on your writing sprints. We'll talk
Thanks for
later.
joining me.
All right, buddy, thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.